twisty one. You put it in and twist it like that. That's for the windows.
All of them?
No, just the downstairs.
It's a bit like Fort Knox, is it not?
You lock them every night and you'll feel safe. I wouldn't want anything happening to you while you're in my house.
Only it will be our house then, won't it, Mr. Cross?
I suppose so. For the time being, anyway.
Sorry to be so long. This kettle took ages to boil. I'm sure it's slower than in the other house.
Oh, rubbish, woman. It's the same kettle, isn't it?
Well, it must be the electricity that's slow, then.
It can't be. It's just the same.
It's a nice little kitchen you've got there. Very convenient. You'll enjoy cooking in it.
Oh, we won't be doing that much cooking. We'll be in at the hospital, you see.
It's a nice kitchen we've got here.
More tea?
Oh, great.
I think we should be getting on. We do want to get settled.
I want your references.
Oh, yes, of course.
Are you sure you won't?
No,
Another
really,
cup?
thank you.
Another cake?
Oh, yeah, lovely, thanks.
I've always taken pride in my baking. My mother was a very good pastry cook and she passed it on to me. You know what they say? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Would you like one, Harold?
What?
A cake?
No thanks.
Oh, well...
Who's this senior nursing officer?
Oh, that's our senior in charge of wards.
A sort of sister.
Why do they have to keep changing the titles?
Well, if the references are satisfactory.
Can I see the letters, Harold?
What for?
Well, to see if they're all right.
I'm reading them, aren't I? And if I say they're all right, they're all right.
It's my house too, Harold.
Oh, the other one's just from the old landlady to say we paid the rent.
Oh, well, that sounds satisfactory then.
Well, maybe we could be getting round.
I'll come over with you, just to make sure that you know where everything is.
Oh, you've already shown us round.
No, but I'll show you where things go.
Haven't you any luggage?
Oh, our friend will be bringing it round later in a van.
Oh.
The house is furnished, you know.
There's not a lot.
I'll let you have an inventory.
We'd like to get a few personal things, you know, like pictures and cushions, make it seem homely.
When we first came in this house, the first thing I did was put my pictures up. Wasn't it, Harold?
Yes, and put your knickknacks all over the place.
It's a nice little house next door. You'll be happy there.
Well, perhaps you could all be getting round.
I'll come over with you, just to see that you get in there safely.
All right. What are you doing here? It's my afternoon off.
Yeah, but you don't usually spend your free time with me.
Yeah, well, I had something fixed up with one of the girls in the kitchen, but she let me down. She said she had a sick granny.
Girls. Don't talk to me about girls.
You still fed up with Linda?
Quick, aren't you?
He's been like a bear with a sore head.
Well, haven't you made up with her yet, then?
What do you think?
He's had a cob on all week.
What do you expect? And sisters are even worse than girls.
See what I mean?
If you hadn't dropped out of that trip to London, I'd never have been in all this lumber.
Don't blame me. I'd have gone if I could.
Oh, yeah, but you couldn't because of your job.
Look, do you two mind taking your fight outside, please? Some of us have got work to do.
Oh, that's right. You rub her in as well.
The way he's going, he's not going to have any friends left.
Hey, look at that.
What?
Watch it. It's that girl, soft lad.
Who?
The one from the disco, remember?
What?
The one I lent the money off before I went to London.
Oh, yeah, that Kathy something or other.
Hey, don't let her see you. She'll be round here looking for us to get her money back. But then again, it's Golden Collins she's looking for, innit? There'll be murder over there when she gets inside the Collinses.
Celia!
What?
Let us in, will you?
It's the last time I'm getting a bus. Must have looked a right div.
Did you have to get a ticket for it?
It was your idea. Nearly walked some woman in the back.
It's a wonder you didn't get done for obstruction. Still, that's another satisfied customer.
Celia, we're gonna have to get a van.
You know we can't.
I know. Capital expenditure.
Picking up the jargon, eh?
Yeah, well, I'm a businessman now, aren't I? Legit.
We can't afford a van at the moment. There's been a lot of outlay recently. Converting the shop, getting in the stock. And your dad losing that ladder didn't help.
Yeah, well, he'll get him back.
From that window cleaner. From what Terry said about him, he'll have sold it for the price of a pint by now. The fact is, we need to build up the business. We could do with some publicity.
Oh, I know. We'll get Terry to go round one of them boards on it. Terry the sandwich man.
That's an idea.
Oh, God, see, you'd never do that.
Not sandwich boards, but we need something. Like leaflets or something.
What?
We could get leaflets printed. Plenty of them to distribute round.
Oh, no, hang on a
and
minute,
you and
see.
Terry can go and deliver them.
I've got the key of the door. Never been 21 before.
Yeah, I never will be again.
Oh, rub it in. I'm only a year older than you. It's great. It's going to be so peaceful here.
Oh, not so sure about that.
Why?
Well, I think there might be a certain amount of buzzing around.
Oh, I know, it's such a bad old couple. She reminds me of my granny.
Oh, yeah, and who does he remind you of?
It's not that bad. Just keep asking if his heart's beating every time you walk past. You'll be all right.
I can't wait to meet him after all you've said.
And I can't wait for them to meet you.
I've got it, a mobile grocery.
Not a mobile grocery. It's a delivery van. It's like the ones they used to have when you got a proper delivery service.
I wouldn't know. I've never been able to afford the sort of shops that delivered. It's a wonder I wasn't born with hooks on my arms. I've carried that many bags.
Is he the one that brought it?
Where?
The one closing the doors?
Think so.
You think so? That's the only way you can sell these days. Guess. What's he doing here?
Well, I suppose he's helping them move in.
I suppose so. They'll need a man to help them.
Probably one of the young doctors.
They're only young, aren't they?
As old as their tongues, a little bit older in their teeth.
Yes, as Edna said.
Think I should go over and lend a man and carry some stuff in?
Think that'd be really neighbourly.
Yeah, but you think they'd mind?
What you mean?
Well, you know, Harold, will he want me in his house?
That's a thought. You better not risk it, eh?
Comes to something, doesn't it? You have to think twice about whether to help a neighbour or not.
It's just Harold. He's got funny little ways.
He's the one that comes straight out and says it, you mean? At least you know where you stand with him. But with some people, you don't know what they really think.
Annabelle thinks it's wicked what they're doing to you.
Yeah, she stood by, so I'll give her that. But what about some of the others?
They think you're a good man and it'll all get sorted out when you go to court.
Wish I could be sure of that.
And if they don't, then they should.
Hey, you're a good one, Marie.
So are you. And I'm going to make sure that everybody knows it.
So that's all fixed then. We'll pick up the stuff from your house. Then on Saturday, I'll help you print up all the photographs.
Are you sure your mum won't mind her bathroom being made into a dark room?
No, she won't be there. She and Dad are going to visit some friends from where we used to live.
I was beginning to think I'd never have my portfolio ready in time.
Don't worry. I'll make sure you do.
Look, that's him. That's the one who said he was you at the disco. And who took my money.
Come on. So then you're pesky and Hello. Oh, hi.
Remember me, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, look, don't try and kid me again. You've done enough of that already, Gordon.
Didn't know he knew him. She didn't. Could have fooled me. She didn't, that is, till she came round to our house to see me, to get her money back. Oh, well, it's thanks to me that you met each other, isn't it? All's well that ends well, eh? Only it hasn't ended, has it? What? Well, what about the money you owe Kathy?
And the £5 I spent on fares and a taxi the day you didn't turn up for our date. Not to mention what it cost me to get up here to look for you.
Well, that's a bit tight, isn't it? Shall we call it, £12 in all? I haven't got that sort of money.
Oh, don't try it again.
£12, please. Look. £4's all I've got.
You'll have it on account.
So that leaves, 8 you owe us then, yeah? Unless we're generous and decide to settle for 10.
Oh, if he pays up quickly.
So we'll be round for the other 6 tomorrow then. See ya.
Can I do anything, Marie?
What?
I don't know, peel some spuds or something.
It's not time to get the tea ready, George.
I'm not pestering, just trying to be helpful.
Anyway, I wasn't going to do potatoes. I thought we'd have salad and bread and butter.
Well, it helps, so I've got something to keep me occupied.
You can make us a cup of tea if you like.
Another. We don't seem to do anything these days but drink tea.
Hey, George!
What?
Come and look at this! Here!
What am I supposed to be looking at?
The paper!
What bit?
The letter!
What letter?
Oh, letters to the editor they've written to the paper.
Who has?
Listen. Dear Sir, may I take advantage of your column to thank the brave man who helped save my son's life. We were having a day out at the lake. It's definitely you, isn't it, George? Look, that's where we were. It's you she wants. Listen, it says, now that I'm calmer, I'd like to get in touch with him to thank him properly.
Let's have a see.
It's definitely you, isn't it? There couldn't have been two drownings there, not on the same day.
Thanks to his presence of mind. Kept his head.
You'll have to get in touch, George. That's what she wants.
Oh, no, Marie.
Yeah, it says, I want to get in touch with him.
Well, there's no need for that. I just knew what to do, that's all. Anybody else would have done the same.
But it wasn't anybody else, was it?
I suppose not.
Presence of mind, kept his head. Makes me feel ever so proud. I'm going to get on the phone to the paper.
No, Marie, don't.
I don't know his name, but to me and my son, he's a hero. Oh, what a pity she didn't know your name.
I don't want a lot of fuss.
Oh, George.
Listen, love, let's get one thing straight, eh? I'm glad I did what I did. I'm glad I helped that kiddie. I just hope somebody would do the same for one of ours if ever there was a need for it. But I didn't do it for thanks, and I didn't do it for glory. So I'm not folding up that paper, and I don't want you to either.
George.
You heard what I said.
Right. How was that?
It's all right.
It's good, isn't it? Time?
What?
6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of this for the leaflet? Tool hire, reasonable rates. Do that job in half the time. Come to us for your mechanical friend. Then a list of what we've got, phone number and address. If you have that done in red and spread them round a bit, we'll have them queuing up to hire our tools.
Yeah, but you've forgotten something.
What?
Free delivery service.
Oh, yeah?
If we had a van.
You're not going to give up, are you?
Well, just think about it, see. We put the logo on the side of it. That'd be publicity, then we'd really be in business, wouldn't we?
You know there isn't any money.
Well, you haven't got any money, but I know it was.
Who?
Never mind. Just think of the van for delivering all the leaflets and that.
What are you up to?
Just wait and see. See.
Leaves, dead flowers, annual weeds. And don't forget the lawn.
What time did you say tea was?
Mix it all in.
I didn't.
All right, then. What time will you say it's going to be?
Not long.
Don't you want to go and get the lads in?
No.
Well, why not? Have I got the plague or something? I'm like a leper now, is that it? Have I got to go around wearing a bell? Watch out, bent fireman about, don't come near or else you'd catch something. Not fit to be seen out now, is that it?
No, it's just the opposite.
You mean it's just the opposite?
Well, he should be here in a minute.
Who should? Why can't I go out? What's going on?
Promise you won't get annoyed if I tell you.
Marie, how can I promise anything if you won't tell me what's going on?
Rang the paper about that letter.
Marie, I thought I said I didn't want to bother.
Oh, I know. But when you said about Harry Cross not wanting you in his house, I just thought that wasn't right. People should know what you've done. So I rang them up and they're coming round.
Who's coming around? That lad and his mother?
Oh, no, better than that, George. They're sending a reporter.
Tonight?
Yeah. He said he was in the area anyway, so he'd call in. He's going to write about you, George. Tell the world what a hero you are.
I know I had one somewhere.
I'm sorry to put you to all this trouble. Perhaps if there's a shop open or something.
Oh, the shop will be closed down, love. Besides, the fuse is a landlord's responsibility. If it had been in the old house, I could have put my hand right on it. A place for everything, everything in its place. That's my motto.
Things do get in a mess when you move. Still, you've got it very nice here.
Oh, we had to move on account of Edna. She's not as young as she was.
No, I suppose not.
I mean, she can't get round like she used to. And the stairs were getting too much for her. She doesn't keep herself fit like I do.
But I thought you said you were the one that was under the doctor all the time.
What, my heart? Oh, there's that, but I do like to keep myself fit. There you are, you little devil.
Oh, That's great. Sorry to put you to all that bother.
No bother at all, any time. Have you settled in down there yet?
More or less, apart from this.
Oh, come on, put it in for you.
Oh, no, we can manage. We're very practical, you know.
I suppose you've got to be when you're a nurse.
Yeah.
Where's your friend?
Kate? Oh, she's next door making out the beds. In fact, I'd better get back. I can't leave her doing everything.
The other one, Pat. Has Pat come?
Pat's coming at the weekend. On night, she sees there's no point coming to the shift changes.
Oh, well, they do make you girls work hard, don't they? I think you deserve a medal.
It's all in the line of duty.
And then he gave him the kiss of life.
Is that right, Mr. Jackson?
The little lad was turning blue, and you should have seen the state of his mother. She was that upset. Mind you, I can understand her. I've got lads of my own.
And after that, he was taken to hospital.
But it was George that saved his life. You will put that in the paper.
It may not be a very big item, you know. It won't hit the front page.
Why not? George saved a life. Isn't that important?
It depends what else is in next week.
I don't think this is a good idea, Marie.
It's a very good idea. People should know what you've done. They should be told. Anyway, it might help with your case.
Once things get into the paper, you never know what might happen.
What case?
Will they put his picture in the paper, Mr. Saxton?
What sort of a case is it?
I told you not to phone him up.
People should know that you've saved a life.
What are you up to?
Nothing.
Oh, come on. You might as well tell me if you're up in court. I can easily find out.
He hasn't done anything wrong.
If you tell me a straight story, I'll print it straight, if I believe it.
And how do I know I can trust you?
Well, I'll be straight with you, and you can see if you want to be straight with me. If you tell me about it and I believe you, I'll do a good job on this story, the one about the rescue. You rang in the hope that it would help if you could have something good said about your husband before his own case came to court.
Yeah. I just wanted to cheer him up and give credit where credit's due.
I'll see what I can do.
Do you think it could help if you wrote something good in the paper?
It might. Is it trial by jury?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, think of it yourself. If you were on a jury, who would you believe? A man with a good record or a man without? A man who'd saved a child's life. What would you think about a man who'd risked own life to save unknown child? If you're going to appear in court, you want to get together all the allies you can. People who will stand by you and vouch for your good character.
Yeah, but I know you lot. Sounds great now. You make me into an hero now, but by the time you've gone back and written your story, it'll probably come out as bent fireman in drowning child stunt.
What do you mean, bent fireman? Brookside Close. The bonded warehouse job. That was you, was it?
Well, what do you think?
What is it?
It's a van.
I can see that. I mean, what's it doing here?
It's ours. I've bought it.
I told you, the business can't afford it.
It hasn't had to.
What?
Me and Terry have bought it.
What do you mean?
Well, you know we had 350 left over from the bathroom fittings. Well, I asked him, he agreed, so we bought it. 350. Not bad, I see.
Well, why don't we go and have a game of footy then?
No.
What then?
Nothing.
We can't do nothing. That's all I've done since I came back from London.
Look, it's my afternoon off, and all I want to do is nothing all right.
What I want to know is why.
Why what?
Why a girl like Kathy is going out with a divvy like Gordon Collins.
I don't know.
And Linda doesn't even want to know about me.
What do you think?
Lovely.
Come on, don't burst a blood vessel, will you? Come on.
What?
I promised my dad we'd have the tea on the table for when they got back. My mum's got to take it easy, remember?
Yeah, don't seem to hear much else.
So come on.
You promised, not me.
But I'm going out.
All right, Karen.
Look, there's a cheese and onion pie to go in the oven and some frozen peas in the fridge.
But, Duxie's just persuaded me to go and have a game of footy.
You'll have all day tomorrow for that, won't you?
Oh, it'll look really good once it's been valeted, see?
Who's going to do that?
Me and Terry, of course. Used to be the best in the business at one time.
When are you going to do it? In between making the deliveries?
Look, once I've got the rust off and painted the sign on, it looks sound.
You got it for 350?
Yeah, the fellow wanted 450, but I knocked him down.
There's no tax on this. Is it insured?
It's going to come up as good as new, this.
You heard?
All right, Celia.
It's not, is it?
down, well, we can run it without. You can't expect everything for 350.
You know what you were saying the other day about being a businessman?
Yeah.
Legit.
Yes.
Well, it's not very legit to run round in an untaxed, uninsured van, is it?
Oh, what else could it do?
All right. You win.
Do I?
I'll tax it and I'll insure it out of the business. It's one condition, though.
What's that?
You know those leaflets we're picking up later? All 1,000 of them?
Yeah.
You and Terry can deliver them tomorrow.
I'll do my best.
Well, thank you very much.
That's all right.
You do believe me, don't you?
Of course he does.
I trust my judgments. There'll be no bent fireman stuff, I promised you that. In any case, we can't print anything about that until the case is finished.
But you will say about the rescue.
Don't worry. I'll do you a good job on that. It's a good story, particularly with the contact being made through the paper.
I was beginning to wonder if anybody would believe me. By the time the police and the solicitors have got through asking their questions for the umpteenth time, you sometimes wonder what you believe yourself.
Thanks for getting in touch, Mrs. Jackson.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, Ian, here's my number. Now, if there's ever anything I can do to help, just get in touch.
Oh, thanks. I'll remember that.
Excuse me.
Oh, you made me jump.
Gotta get on.
Is this yours?
Yes, love.
If you don't mind me saying so, what is it?
Taxi, umbrella, business premises, fetcher and carrier, occasional bedroom.
Yes, but what is it?
Well, it used to be an ambulance. I got it cheap, you see, for working at the hospital.
What exactly do you do there?
This and that. Easy hours of suffering humanity.
Oh.
Amongst other things. Now, if you'll excuse me, love, I'll get this lot of shit.
You must have a big appetite.
It's a bit of business. I buy them in bulk like this, straight off the farm, quite cheap, right? Then I wash them and sell them retail at twice the price. Helps keep the wolf from the door, as they say.
You do that yourself?
Yeah. Look, I tell you what, why don't I unload the first sack in the direction of your kitchen?
Give me a free sack?
Yeah, that's right.
Seems rather a lot.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get through it. You and Mr. Cross and put hairs on his chest.
And what are you going to do with the rest?
I'll put them in the house.
This house?
I think we'll negotiate about that.
But why this house?
Have you not told her yet?
I thought you had.
Tell me what?
Has Pat finished?
I think that's a lot.
Look, I'm not having those potatoes in my kitchen.
Pat? Is he... Are you... Pat?
Large as life and twice as ugly.
The one that's going to live here?
That's right.
But he's a boy.
Well spotted.
Whatever will Harold say when he finds out? Harold,
What do you want, woman?
come and get your breakfast. You'll have to get the half-past bus if you're going to meet Jessica.
Oh, there's plenty of time for that.
No, there isn't. Jessica looks forward to her Saturday mornings with you.
I won't miss it. It's cold.
Your breakfast will be cold if you don't get a move on.
It's been here all night.
I know it's been here all night. I saw it when I closed the blinds last night.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
It's been there before.
Not all night, it hasn't.
Well, it's Saturday and
Who does it belong to? That's what I want to know.
that boy, the friend of Sandra and Kate.
Oh. So what's it doing outside their house at this time of the morning?
Well, he must must have stayed there the night.
Oh, caught on, have you? That's what I think, too. 2 girls and a fella. It's not right. And wait till I see them. I'll give them a piece of my mind.
It's nice to have a decent night's sleep.
Especially when someone else has made the bed for you.
He's to his own skills, Sandra. I must say, though, you and Kate got it nicely organised in here.
And your skill was getting us here first, so we'd have all done before you arrived, wasn't it?
I did my bit. I fetched the stuff.
Well, you're the one with the wheels.
Look, it was easy to stay put until I finished the night shift. After all, we paid the rent of the old place until the end of the week.
Badly managed that, paying 2 lots of rent.
Well, it was worth moving quickly. This was too good to be missed. Bedroom each and all of this.
I think it was just as well get in before he changed his mind.
Who?
Our new landlord, the Duke of Westminster, next door.
Tell me, how did Mrs. Stagg take it when you finally moved out?
Oh, she baked me a cake. Made it specially.
You're the only person I know with his landlady in tears when he moved out.
It's my little boy charm.
You mean you never grew up?
Here, careful, Kate. I nearly caught a glimpse of ankle then.
And that's all you're ever likely to catch as well.
Promise?
Oh, you're not going to wear that sweatshirt again today, are you?
That's good for another 2 days at least. Apart from which, how am I going to manage without good old Mrs. Stagg to do me smalls?
Just use your little boy charm on the neighbours.
He already has, and Mrs. Cross.
Oh, no. Not the sack of potatoes treatment again.
It never fails.
He doesn't know yet that you're the 3rd tenant.
Who, the Duke? She hasn't told him yet.
No. Mind you, I think she's got a sense of humour.
Not to mention an endless supply of potatoes.
These have turned out well, haven't they?
Yeah, they're all right, aren't they?
Isn't that our ladder?
Hey, I think it is.
The one your dad lost?
The one Sinbad walked off with. Come on, let's go and get it. Didn't look like action to me.
Sure your mum won't mind all this?
No. Anyway, it's not Mum who'd make all the fuss, it's Dad. Still, he's okay about...
Oh, can you pass me the developer?
What, this one?
Yeah, that's it. Check the temperature. It should be 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it is.
Right, put it in here.
All right.
Careful.
There we go. Why does it have to be a precise temperature?
Because if it isn't, you get blotched film. Just hope you got it right.
I checked very carefully.
Right. Here, you hold it. Turn it every now and again just to keep the film moving.
Like this?
Yeah. This bit takes 8 minutes. This is the really nerve-wracking bit. Those negatives are precious. You can take any number of prints, but you've only got 1 set of negatives.
Am I twiddling it right?
Oh, you make a great twiddler.
Are these the shots you took in the disco?
Yeah. They'll make a great contrast to the ones I took at your school. All those boys in their school uniforms. Seems really strange to think they're the same age as the lads at the disco.
Do you think I look young in my school uniform?
Yeah, I suppose you do.
It's my hair, isn't it?
I was thinking of calling the magazine portfolio Merseyside Youth. What do you think?
No, useless. Tell you what, Merseyside Potential. There's a better title.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Well, don't sound so surprised. How's my twiddly?
Oh, wonderful. Best twiddler I've ever known.
Hello, Arthur, mate. What are you doing here?
I've come to see you.
Yeah, but...
Would have come to see you before, but I didn't know whether you wanted to see anybody. With you not having been in touch, we ought to know.
Yeah, I should have got in touch, I know, but I couldn't somehow.
I saw your name in the paper, so... Well, I thought that I'd...
Well, you better come in.
Oh, thanks.
Take the pew.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll give us your coat.
The lads were... After you.
Well, I was just wondering how things are.
We've missed you.
Yeah, well, I've missed you.
Missed the lads.
Oh, I dare say.
Missed the job. Doing something useful. Missed the excitement. It's funny, isn't it? Risking our necks every time we go out, and I miss the excitement.
Aye.
Felt useless, you know. Sat here twiddling me thumbs, doing nothing, no use to anyone.
It won't be long before you're back with us, George. I mean, they're bound to find you innocent, aren't they?
Oh, I hope so.
Of course they are. Everybody knows you're as straight as a die.
Do you believe that?
Come on. Of course I do.
There's going to have to be a disciplinary tribunal, though, isn't there, before they let me back in the service?
I suppose they will.
Firefighting's the only job I really want to do, and... well, the fact is I've been an idiot.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, it's true, though, isn't it? I mean, we all know about confidentiality, don't we? I don't know how I could be so daft.
What did happen, George?
Well, I was conned, I suppose. I'd just gone in for a drink on the way back from that bonded warehouse. And I was still a bit mad with that security fella. Do you remember the one that tried to stop us getting through? And that's how I got talking about it.
You didn't have to tell him what you thought of him. It's a wonder he didn't thump you.
Yeah, well, what do you expect, eh? Trying to tell us how to do our jobs. I mean, what does he know about the best way to approach a fire, eh? Try to save a few packets of fags at the risk of people's lives. It's not right. You got right up my nose.
I've never heard you speak out so strong before.
I can't remember it now.
I expect the old adrenaline was flowing fairly fast at the time, though, eh?
Not anymore, it isn't. You know, sometimes when I'm asleep, I can forget all this. Then the alarm goes off in the morning, I think I've got to get up for work. Then I realise it's the biggest excitement I get these days. The alarm going off in the morning.
So this is the fixer to fix the image on the negative, yeah?
Yeah, once we've done that, we can make as many prints as we like.
More twiddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tap. You know, if all this was about computers, I might understand you more. As it is, you might as well be talking Martian.
Well, I'll put the negative in the enlarger, see? And then expose different bits of it for different lengths of time. And then have a look at the prints, see what the tone's like, and choose one that's most appropriate to the subject.
The arty bit, eh?
That's the idea. Oh.
Well, what do we do now?
Right. When it's washed, we can have a look at it.
They'll be ready then.
First time seen by human eye.
Is it all disco stuff?
Yeah, half my portfolio.
I hope it's good then.
So do I. Abracadabra.
Opening time, eh?
Yeah.
Right. There we go. What's the matter, Kath?
Look!
Oh, they're useless. I can't see anything.
I know, that's the point. They're ruined. I've lost the lot.
No. Hey, come on, Kath. We can find something else to photograph.
There's no time. I said I'd have them ready for the magazine for Monday.
Yeah, but that gives us today and tomorrow.
If we get some pictures as good as those at the disco.
What did we do wrong?
I don't know. It must have been the fixer.
What, that stuff I put in? Well, so maybe it was my fault then.
There's probably something wrong with it.
Yeah, but could it have been me?
I doubt it.
The way I put it in or something?
Don't be daft.
Well, if it was the fixer, what could have been wrong?
I don't know.
Well, think.
I don't know. Maybe it was out of date.
But nobody'd sell you out-of-date materials, would they?
No, but...
Couldn't have been that, then. Are you sure it wasn't my fault?
It wasn't you. It was probably the...
What?
Well, I got the stuff from school out of the back of a cupboard.
I see. You've got nobody but yourself to blame, then, have you? Come on, Kath. Hey, listen, I'm sorry.
No, I'm the one who should be sorry for using that stuff.
Yeah, well, it's done now, isn't it? We just have to look for something else.
Like what? Prince Charming over there?
No, don't be... Hey, yeah. Yeah, why not?
What?
Yeah, look, I mean, what did he do for the portfolio? You know, as a contrast to our school.
Yeah, come on.
How come you come round again, then? Time off for good behaviour.
Oh, aye. Stood you up again, did she?
No, I prefer your company.
Who are you kidding? Hey, can you do us a favour?
Why should I?
Remember the money you owe Kathy?
Yes.
Well, you come with us and we'll call it quits.
What is it?
She wants to take his photograph.
You mean me?
Yeah. Look, I'll get the camera and lock up, OK?
Just this photo, and you'll write off £6.
Yep.
Come on, then. Hey, they're not porno ones, are they?
Don't be an idiot.
Oh, what a pity.
Milk and sugar?
Just milk. Sugar's a killer.
What isn't these days? So, how's things at the social club?
Why don't you come down one night? I know the lad's a big lad to see you.
No, not until all this is sorted out. I'll come down then.
Hey, do you remember those films you brought in?
What, the videos?
That's right.
Yeah, a bit of a laugh, weren't they?
I hope Marie never found out. It was your brother-in-law got hold of them for you, wasn't it?
Hey, you don't think they'll bring up them blue videos in court, do you?
How could they? How would they know about them?
I suppose I'm still thinking about what that reporter said. It's a jury trial, you see, so a lot depends on what the jury think of you. Goes a long way to deciding whose story they believe. That's why they bring people in, to be witnesses to your good character.
You've got a good character.
Well, at least I've got this story in the newspaper. I've got something good to show them.
And you've got a good record in the service.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Do you remember when there was a flashover in that house and the explosion blew you right back against the wall?
The elbow still hurts a bit sometimes.
It was all thanks to you we got that old man out. I think you should have got a commendation for that. It'd come in handy now, eh?
Listen, I'd like to try and get somebody from the service to vouch for me at the trial.
It's a tricky one, that, George. Look, you won't get anybody official. Well, as a mate, I'll stand for you if you want.
What's he up to? Edna? Edna!
There must be something round here, Kath.
That guy's got off forward. It's all right, we'll find something soon enough.
There's loads round here. So what about this? Will this do?
Well, it's not very visual, is it, Gordon?
Oh, I don't know. Looks visual to me. You could have him sort of leaning against the wall, you know, hands in pockets, nothing to do.
That's true enough.
Like the 30s, you mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it?
So he wanted to make a point, you know, them and us sort of thing. Look, these houses, well, they're the same age as my school, so it'd be like showing the two different backgrounds, you know, two different worlds.
Well, that's fine as a point to me, but if the pictures are dull, no one's going to want to look at them.
Oh.
Hey, look!
What?
That's it! That fits with the Mersey potential idea. Fancy go on the slide, Duxie?
What?
All action shots, Dux.
Oh, yeah, action, man.
Seems strange without my bits and pieces.
It's not as tight as when you were here, Mrs. Cross.
Harold wanted to move, you know. The stairs got too much for him. Didn't worry me, but then I'm 2 years younger than he is.
2 years makes a difference.
I haven't told him yet about, you know, about Patrick being the third person.
You'll have to know sometime.
Hello, ladies.
Where have you put them?
Out there.
He had them in the kitchen, but Kate put her foot down, so they're outside then.
Oh, but the winter's coming on.
Don't worry, love. I'm a fine weather salesman, mate. Besides, it's only worth doing vegetables at this time of year when the wholesale prices are cheap.
Oh, you'll find something else to do once the weather turns bad. He'll be round your door selling you Christmas cards.
And daffodils at Easter. It's important to mark these seasonal occasions, and we try to make ourselves useful as neighbours. You'll be able to call on Sandra the next time you're expected. I'm just going to get the rest of my gear out of there.
expecting?
Oh, he's only kidding you. I'm doing midwifery training this year.
Oh, are you? Oh, it must be a lovely job, all those little babies.
Well, it depends. The baby's all right. Some others it can be difficult. I mean, you get the ones who are into natural childbirth. They've read all the books and they think you're assaulting them when you take their blood pressure. And then there's the others. They don't want to know, so they just lie back and scream.
It's a difficult time for a young girl, particularly if it's her first. I'll never forget when Kevin was born. However long ago it is, you never forget.
Okay, right, now just slide down. Come on. Okay, no, just come down like that. Hang on, let me focus. Okay, right, just slide down. That's it. Got it. Okay. Right, now go back and come back down the other way. Come back down and slide down on your back. Actually. Look, just go off and I think. Okay, out we go. Right, now this time, yeah, go. Right, now this time, yeah, go down on your back.
On my back?
Yeah, turn around. Yeah, that's good, yeah. Okay, right, hang on. Right, go. Got it, okay.
You sure you want to have another?
No, I'll have to be going, George. Took us my coat.
There you go. Cheers.
And remember what I said about going to court, though? Give my name to that solicitor.
Oh, thanks, Arthur. It's good to know who your friends are. It's a pity Marie's not back. She would have liked to have seen you again.
She wasn't always so keen on me. I think she'd like to get you straight home at the end of watch.
Yeah, well, things were a bit different in those days. She didn't see enough of me then. I think she sees a bit too much now.
I brought this, George. Daft, I didn't know how to give it you. We had a bit of a whip round. The lads, you know. Like we do when someone's getting married or something.
What, a funeral?
Yeah, well, anyway, it's for you. £53. Sorry we couldn't do more, really.
Thanks very much. I never thought...
Everybody gave what they could. They were all glad to. We're all behind you.
Thanks, mate. That means a lot.
Could have happened to any one of us. The worst you've been's a bit daft. Remember what I said? I'll speak up for you.
Thanks, mate.
Come over here. Okay, right, crouch down there. Come on. Right. Damon, can you get on too and as if you're swinging or something? Why? Oh, come on, Damon.
You good enough yet?
I just want to shoot some more film just to make sure I've got the pictures I need. Okay, right, now, okay, open your mouth and beat your chest. Make it like an ape.
Kiss it, will you?
What?
We're going to look like a right pair of divvies, aren't we?
Well, that's the idea.
I don't mind. Well, I do. We're going to appear in public looking like a pair of monkeys.
Well, look, Kathy needs her pictures.
Whose side are you on? A minute ago, you were as fed up as me.
But that was only because of the time.
No, it's not. It's because the way she's bossing everyone about.
Or because she wasn't taking pictures of her.
Look, come on, can we get on with the shot?
No, not with us, you can't.
Look, you said you'd help out instead of the £6.
To let you take photos of Duxie, not make idiots out of us.
We won't, honestly. Look, I'll show you the pictures when they're done.
You better have. And you've had your £6 worth, right? So don't try making a fool out of me and me mate, OK?
OK. Did you get what you wanted?
Yeah, thanks to you.
Yeah?
Yeah. At least I know this fixer works.
What the? What's he up to? Where is she?
Would you like to come in?
I would. So this is where you've been skiving, is it? Gossiping and stopping coffee all morning.
Would you like some?
I'm not stopping. Just a few questions.
Hello, Mr. Cross. Well, what do you think of this?
Oh, hello. It's very bright.
Yes, just the way I like it. Now, what are these questions you've come to ask?
Well, after all, it is my house.
Oh, yes, the one you've rented to us.
I'm not so sure I would if I'd have known the way you were going to carry on.
What have we done?
I thought you were respectable girls. I thought I knew where I was with nurses.
Harold, are you suggesting that we're not respectable?
Not really. What's that ambulance doing out there? Belongs to that lad, doesn't it? Where is he?
Harold.
It's not right, is it? A fella and 2 girls is not what I expected.
We're just friends.
It does happen nowadays.
I know it does, but not under my roof it doesn't.
Oh, what do you think is going on?
Harold, will you listen?
Why don't you shut up, woman? I wasn't born yesterday, you know. I know all about that sort of thing before you were thought of.
Go and call.
I let this house for 3 people. And there's only 3 people allowed to be here, and that's all I want.
Right.
What's going on there?
That's him, that's the one I want. What are you doing under my roof?
I'm living here.
Oh, no, you don't. I said 3 tenants. That's all I let it for. It's in the agreement.
And we've all signed the agreement.
3 tenants, the 3 of us.
It says here, 3 girls. Kate Moses, Sandra McGee and Pat J. Hancock. And they're the only 3 entitled to be here. Kate, Sandra and...
And Pat. That's right, Mr. Cross. I'm the 3rd tenant. Patrick John Hancock.
That was very friendly.
I'll tell you something, Mr. Cross. I think your new tenant is really lovely. And too much worry spoils your looks.
I suppose you know you're making yourself look foolish.
All right, I won't do the front. But remember, next spring, it was you told me not to do it.
I never, Harry Cross. It's just...
It's what?
Well, you've no right to spy on them like that.
Not them. I'm not bothered about the girls. It's him. And it's obvious he's chatting up the Grant girl.
Well, what if it... Well, you know... What if he's intimate with one of those nurses?
Don't be daft.
But what if he is? Will it be all his fault? Still be a nice girl, will she?
I've been watching them like a hawk. I've seen them all together. And there's no funny business going on. Not that sort, any road.
Well, the house is a darn sight safer with him in it, with a man around.
I've been deceived, Edna. I thought that the 3rd party was a female.
Well, more fool you, then.
Oh, that's loyalty, that is. After nearly 50 years of marriage.
47 and a half. I don't know why you're going on like this.
Because I had no chance to vet him. And I think he's a suspect character. That's why they kept him away from me.
It's the climate, Harold.
You what?
The economic climate. That's why he has to sell the fresh farm produce to eke out what he earns. Some might say what an enterprising young man.
Not enterprising, Edna. Fly. And I'll tell you another thing about him. He says he's a graduate. A graduate? The same as our Kevin.
Well, they've all signed the agreement, even him. They've all paid 3 months in advance, and therefore you can't get him out.
Even though they misled me? Even then?
I'm sorry, Harry. Even then.
What do you think? Your nagging paid off in the end?
Nagging?
Lobbying, then. From now on, the old car is all yours. And God bless all who sail in her.
You're in a good mood, aren't you?
He likes the car.
I like having the car.
Makes him feel like a captain of industry.
Hello. What on earth's he doing?
Clearing things out by the look of it.
Well, maybe I should have a word with Harry.
Why? Lowers the tone too much?
Well, I think it's an eyesore, Gordon.
Well, they're not doing any harm.
If he starts trading from that van, there'll be rubbish everywhere.
He won't start trading from here, Dad.
Well, how do you know? I don't. I doubt if Cross does either. He slipped up, that man, if you ask me.
I expect he got references and things. Anyway, they're not noisy.
Well, I'll go over and make our position clear.
Paul, don't go being difficult.
Well, we're immediate neighbours, Anna. It's our concern.
Well, I'm not concerned. Gordon, is this your mess, all these crisps?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, see you get them cleared up before your father comes back.
Okay. Excuse me. I couldn't borrow that dustpan and brush for a minute, could I?
Yeah,
Save me
that's
going in and messing about.
There you go.
Great.
Hey, new car?
Yeah, Dad's just picked it up.
Oh, very nice. Was that him?
Yeah, that's right. He can be a bit of a stickler for order and so on, so if he makes a fuss about your van, don't be too surprised. He's all right underneath, though. Don't take him too seriously.
Good sort, eh?
Well, it's just his manner.
Yeah, you going to use that brush?
Yeah.
Yeah, manner can say quite a lot. Be a fair measure of the man. Oh, very smart. One of the perks of his job, I suppose.
Yeah, well, so is that of his, Bobby Grant. He works for a union.
Oh, I agree. A plague on both your houses.
Well, yes, this seems in order as far as I can see. Standard sort of tenancy agreement.
The point is, there's nothing there that says the boy can't own an ambulance and park it outside the house. Now, if he parked it outside your house, you might have a grievance.
You've got the grievance, Harold. You're feeling very aggrieved.
I'm the landlord, not Paul. It's different if I've got a complaint. A landlord's entitled to have a complaint.
So's a next-door neighbour. This is a very pleasant little close, aesthetically speaking. I'm worried where it's going to go. Cross between a scrap merchant's yard and a costermonger's alley.
It's early days.
Exactly. So it's up to you to nip it in the bud. Ask him to park his ambulance and his sacks of potatoes somewhere else.
I think he bags them before they dry. Mine have gone bad already.
I'm sorry, you've got no case. The lad has not infringed that agreement.
This agreement is neither here nor there.
You sure it's just the boy that's the trouble?
Whatever do you mean?
I mean, is it the boy or is it really something else? The hidden face of prejudice. That's what I think's lurking here.
One of the girls is black, you mean? How absurd. What an idea. My daughter Lucy had a coloured boyfriend. Welcome to our home.
Oh, yes.
There's no threat there to me. It's fear that starts that sort of thing. Plus ignorance and a low intelligence. What you forget is I served in India, you know.
I think Kate's family came from the West Indies originally.
I assure you I am not prejudiced.
Except against an old ambulance and some potatoes.
Listen, this is getting rather silly. You're the landlord. Kindly deal with your tenant.
Hypocrite.
I don't know where I am with you, Harold Cross.
It's simple. I still don't like that sharp young man. But in that mood, I like Paul Collins even less.
Lindisfarne Castle. Is she going to study there, is she?
Well, she can't work all the time, can she? It just makes it seem very attractive as a place to go, I mean.
Yeah, but it all depends what she's going to study. What subject?
Subjects. And I'm not sure yet.
Well, shouldn't you know?
Well, Newcastle's dead good about that. They're good on combined studies and letting you decide when you're there.
Yeah, but you must have some idea.
I have. That's why I'm likely to apply to Bradford.
Bradford? I know which of the two I'd choose for scenery.
Sheila.
Well, Maureen Lomax comes from Newcastle. She raves about the Northumberland coast.
I know she does, but Carol's not going to study deep-sea fishing, is she?
Well, what is she going in for? I don't know. I've no more idea than you have.
Because you don't listen, do you? You're meant to be advising me, you two.
Go on, then. What's so good about Bradford?
Well, you can do social psychology, see? I really fancy social, because with general, you got to do about animals. And physiology.
Kidology.
Oh, no, love.
Yeah, look at this. A BA with honours. Politics and social psychology. I wouldn't mind that for myself. Bobby Grant at Ruskin.
Bobby Grant at Brookside, please, with this.
Anyway, it all depends how far you're prepared to go outside of Liverpool, love.
Oh, no, Damon, not that one.
You wouldn't think of moving south, would you, love?
I don't think so, no. I wouldn't miss you for a minute. But if I did, cost me there to get back up, wouldn't it?
There's always evil Knievel.
Oh, come on, love. We're talking about a year off yet. Studying with all those nice young men.
Yeah, and we know why they're nice, don't we? Because they're going to be getting degrees, not working in a DIY in Bootle.
Love, you don't want to start thinking of tying yourself down.
Do you mean like you did?
Well, that's different. Presumably with this lot, she's thinking in terms of a career.
Yeah. That's why, if I choose psychology, I want to do applied. Because I want a job to come out of it. But I don't see myself ditching Andrew in the process. I don't see why I have to.
Love, you might outgrow him.
Oh, come on, that's really horrible.
Look, is there any chance of any tea here today?
Oh, I'm sorry, love. In a minute. I'm not organised yet.
You've got time for this.
This is Karen's future, Damon.
Anyway, I don't envy you sorting that lad out. 5 applications, all in certain order.
You're talking about a love life finishing with Andrew?
Karen, you wouldn't throw all this up for him, would you? You wouldn't let that restrict you.
See if he doesn't ditch here first.
Damon, just because you've got a cob on with Linda.
You what? I mean, I just want some tea, that's all. I'm starving here. She's got months to do that.
I haven't got months.
What did your last slave die of?
Well, I don't know what we're having. I mean, it's your job, isn't it? It's your job to look after us.
Can't you work yourself for a change? Your mother's been up half the night. And let's be fair, you're not exactly overworked, are you?
Oh, no, you're dead right there, Dad. Not much chance of working either, is there?
It's all right, love. I'll do the tea.
No, you just carry on talking about Karen. So what are you saying then, Dad? So you're only on certain nights a week?
Just bear in mind that O-level years are very demanding time.
Your father means late nights, that sort of thing. They've been very good, Paul.
Yes, I know. Now, who's for a quick run out in the new car? Find a pub with a garden.
Well, I was thinking of calling for Kathy.
Oh, we could pick her up on the way, if that's acceptable.
Okay, yeah,
I'll go. You two can clear the table.
Only thing is, Dad, I think she's going to develop the photographs we took last week tonight.
Phone her when your mum comes back and see.
Well, don't expect her to go weak at the knees at the sight of the car.
That's not the point of the exercise. Well, not the only one.
I'd like you to get to know her, Dad. Of course, I've only just got to know her myself.
Sorry, Gordon. Your father will be the only one driving out.
What?
Back to the office, I'm afraid. Well, they want you to sort something out, something about a pump.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I got that sorted out before I left.
Oh, apparently it's gone wrong again. I did ask them if they wanted to talk to you, but they said no. Would you please come?
Annabelle, who is they? They could be anybody.
They is the person on the other end of the phone. They didn't give their name, but they sound almost as cross as you do now.
I'm just a nursemaid, you know, that's all. Well, sorry about tonight. Some other time.
She's probably busy with the photographs anyway. Doesn't matter.
Back as soon as I can.
Shall I wash up, Mum?
Still phone her, can't you?
Yeah, I will do.
Hiya. Oh, hello. Settling in? You, won't spread yourself too far, will you?
I respect the invisible divide.
Yes, well, it isn't simply me. I think Mr. Cross is a little concerned about the amount of, produce you seem to have. Rather think he'd like a word about it.
Who, the Duke?
Sorry?
The Duke of Westminster, our landlord.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
engine?
Spark plug, I think, again. Keeps gunging up.
Want to have a look at it?
No, I'll do it later, thanks.
Taking it back apart before, you know.
Prefer to do it myself.
Oh, I don't know. I idle around all day, and then when I have to do something, no one wants to know.
Hey, I've got to get home on this tonight. I don't want to take your Karen off for the weekend.
Oh, and I'd ruin it. Thanks for your vote of confidence.
Damon. All right, have a go. But if you're not sure, ask, OK?
Tar. Hey, I can't stand it in there. Rabbit. Our Karen's A-levels.
Yeah, but she's got quite a bit on at the moment. She reckons she's going to be working at the weekend when I want us to get off. Still, I reckon I can win around.
Why? I mean, if a bloke tells you to get lost, you believe him. So why is it so different with girls?
Yeah, I suppose, but...
I mean, there might be girls you can get round, but not ones like our Karen, not if she's decided.
Oh, Linda, eh?
I was talking about our Karen. I never mentioned Linda.
No.
They're no use to me. I've had to cut half of them away.
Oh, you always get a few, love.
It's not a few. Come on and look.
Edna, I'm trying to have a conversation.
Well, go on, don't mind me.
I do mind you. You've got me all muddled. What did Paul Collins say?
Well, just said you wanted to see me, to beef about the fruit and veg I'm selling.
Well, it's him that's got the bellyache about it. He should own up, not push it on to me.
Oh, I see. So you're quite happy then?
I didn't say that, did I? When Sandra and Kate came for that first interview, you weren't with them, were you?
2 girls and a fella? Oh, I thought you might get the wrong end of the stick. Think I was, well, you know, stepping out with one of them or something.
Are you?
I thought you'd got cooking to do.
I'm not, actually. But it's OK. I'm all for neighbours taking an interest in each other. Too easy to get wrapped up in yourself.
That's what you say, isn't it, Harold? Community spirit.
Edna!
Well, anything else you'd like to know? Well, you know, that you would have asked originally if I'd been with Kate or Sandra.
But this is a matter of fact. What's this about you being a graduate?
Oh, just then. I ended up at Nottingham doing food science. I started off with chemistry, only it choked me off. I failed the exams.
Our son's got a degree. English literature. He teaches. A nice little job that really benefits the community.
There'll be a cup of tea when you come through.
Oh, Tar, haven't forgotten, Mrs. C.
All right. Now, about this food technology, what's that got to do with the job you're doing now, a porter in hospital?
Oh, I used to be in a band.
Oh, aye. What were you, the chief trumpeter?
No, a rock band. I started off in university, did the college circuit, then ended up on a lousy tour of Scandinavia. The promoter took off without paying us, and we had to sell all our gear and a bit more to get home.
Get away.
Yeah. So, I ended up back home penniless. No guitar, no job, and no prospects. My degree was about as useful as a broken G-string. Still, I couldn't have stuck a 9-to-5 life.
There's a few million who'd give their legs for a chance to try it.
Oh, I've never been idle. Nah. I went for a job as a nutritional consultant with the DHSS. Yeah, I didn't get it. So, I ended up as an hospital porter.
And have I paid all those taxes to educate someone like you?
Come on, let's go and get that tea.
What about the fruit and veg?
Oh, makes a few bob on the side. And it's the best nutritional diet you could get. Oh, it gives me a kick too. Get me home back and away on those daft sods that turn me down.
Perhaps. But I tell you what's not on turning this close into a tip. A cross between a scrap metal yard and a costermonger's alley.
Well then, ring the council and wangle us a bin and then you won't see any rubbish.
This city don't give bins.
Oh, I'm sure you can handle bureaucrats, Mr. Cross. You wouldn't let them fob you off. Persistent, aren't you?
One way of putting it.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. My fault. I dried these off without due care, didn't I? I'll get you another lot free of charge. To, community spirit, eh?
Marvellous. I finally get a hot meal on the table. There's only one person sitting down and she's got a face in a book. Prospectus.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Sorry, Kate. Been planning our Karen's life. Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you're going to spend 3 years at a place, Karen, you better make sure it's a place you're going to like.
I reckon it makes good sense, you know. Why don't you go and have a look around somewhere?
Well?
Well, this weekend?
Oh, Andrew, I've got loads of work on for school.
Change might do you good, love. I mean, you know, might work better for it, especially if you went somewhere nice.
Wait for it.
Well, if you could see a university and get a breath of good sea air at the same time.
What's she on about?
Yeah, mate Maureen Lomax. She's always raving on about the Northumberland coast.
Hey, I'll batter you.
Well, we could go to Newcastle, Karen. I mean, it is high up on your list and, well, it could be a great run.
Will that old bike of yours make it, lad?
That's the mechanic. Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Damon, be a devil. Go the whole hog. Get the T-shirt changed.
Oh.
You're going to get it everywhere. Oh, and Damon, I've moved the chest of drawers back into the baby's room.
You what? She said she's moved the chest of drawers.
What for? Barry said it was a squat in there with all your stuff.
Damon, just go and change the T-shirt, eh? Don't let's have an inquest. Just change the T-shirt.
Oh, this is great, this is.
Damon, it won't hurt you to cross the London.
Well, I know it won't. But why should I even have to? Oh, Barry complains, so we moved the drawers. The tea's late because of Karen. The baby's not even born and it's got me room. And I have to share with old Barry.
Damon, get upstairs, lad. Get out your dirt and then come back and have your tea, eh? Now, I mean it. And don't say anything you might regret.
Love, I'm sorry. I should have asked you about the chest of drawers.
Oh, leave it, will you? She's always the first to scream for his tea and always the last to sit down.
Yeah, well, that fits, doesn't it? Because it strikes me I come last in everything round here. You lot couldn't care less about me.
Look, leave it, Sheila.
Yeah, I know, but I might have...
Leave it, will you? Don't let him put you off having your tea just because he's acting like a big soft lad.
Yeah, well, he is upset.
Upset? I'm upset seeing this food going cold. Come on, eat up. Come on, lad, and you.
I'll go.
Thank you. Don't know who goes through these biscuits, but it certainly isn't me.
Was your father in?
It's Mr. Cross, Mum. See Dad.
I'm afraid he's had to go to the office. I don't know when he'll be back.
Well, I've come to give you a message. Your husband came in to see me earlier on. I said I'd deal with it, and he had no right to interfere again.
There's no need to be so aggressive.
Look, Mr. Cross, the point is it dealt with or isn't it? That's what Dad'll want to know.
It's dealt with, all right. The ambulance is staying, the farm produce is staying, they're all staying, all of them.
No matter what.
No matter what. So you tell him that.
Hey, come on, love. A well-nourished mum means a well-nourished baby.
I'm sorry, love. I can't really enjoy it. I'm going up to him.
OK. Have you threatened that much?
He's pretty touchy with me before.
I know. Lovesick. That's his problem.
You haven't said yet. Yes or no?
But it's this particular weekend. I've got a project to get in.
Look, bring it with you. I'll read it through for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Karen. Please. Could be really great.
Oh, all right. But ask me first in future.
If you don't eat, you won't sleep, then you'll start churning things over. You're going to feel worse in the morning. I've known your dad do that before now. And don't I know it when your dad can't sleep? Funny thing is, there's me creeping around at night, desperate not to disturb him.
Why can't you sleep?
Oh, you know, heartburn, backache, wanting to go to the toilet, thinking thoughts. It's a funny thing, you know, love, being pregnant. You're so intent on what's going on inside you or thinking about the future. You don't always notice what's under your very nose. Don't always tune in.
Yeah, well, you tune into Karen, all right.
Damon, it's a big thing for us. For me and your dad. One of you with a chance like that, going to university, it's a big thing, love.
Yeah.
Damon, you wasted school. You were bright and you wasted it.
Only because I hated it so much.
Karen's not exactly keen on everything she has to do, but she still works her socks off, love.
Yeah, well, it might surprise you, Mum, but I worked really hard in London. I was knackered every night, but it was great. And they were pleased, they said. Any time I want to go down there and work with them. Like an apprenticeship. Live with Donna or Yvonne's dad, so as you won't worry. Do you know what the unemployment is in Liverpool? 1 in 10. Even I, for my age, more like 1 in 5. I'm busting up with Linda. Well...
You wouldn't go to London, would you, love?
Why not? I mean, look, It's not even my room anymore. What is there to keep me here?
And Brookside's back on Monday morning at 11:55.
We should have taken the other road. You might have been less scenic, but by far the shortest route.
Well, we're never going to get there at this rate, are we?
It was your dame who said the bike was all right.
Well, you should have checked it, shouldn't you?
It's fine now. Anyway, I think that's the right road.
Roger and I never did much entertaining, so I've never had the need for a really large saucepan.
So who's coming tonight, then?
Oh, just a gang from work. I thought if I made the soup now, it could leave me lots of time to get the other things ready.
Look, Ma'am, what exactly am I supposed to do?
See those numbers I've ring round? Painters and decorators. Ring them round one by one. There might be something going.
You can't just phone up for a job out the blue like that.
Why not? It's daft going to London to learn a trade when he could learn one here. Oh, here it is. As usual, put away in the wrong place.
London?
Oh, I tell you, Heather, I soon won't have any need for a pan this size. Our Karen at university, Barry threatening to try his wings, and this young man in lodgings in London.
It's not lodgings, it's Dawn or Yvonne's house.
Well, I suppose I like that the least. I'd be jealous of you sitting down to somebody else's meals, some other muggins picking up after you. But there you are, you see, I'm just a nasty, possessive mother.
You've been trying to get a job?
Just thought it was hopeless.
Well, it'd be even more hopeless if you don't even try.
Look, I know that, Ma'am, but it's Saturday today.
I know, but I know you. If it gets put off, it won't get done. It won't, me lad, I know.
Phoning shows some initiative. You might strike lucky.
All right, I'll try a few.
And positive, Damon. None of your cracks.
I'm not stupid, Ma'am. I know how to make a simple phone call.
I'm not allowed to have any ideas, you know. They have to be his every time.
Oh. Would you really mind him going to London if it was for a job and a family to live with?
I don't know. Do you know, I think this is driving them all away. As if somehow they're trying to punish me for getting caught like this. Stupid, I know.
But surely Barry and Karen would have left home by now anyway, in the natural course of events.
I know. I've said it's daft. But, you know, I don't think our Damon wants to go. Not really. Not deep down.
Well, what sort of
So,
time will he be
maybe.
then?
I must get off, Sheila, and do some cooking.
Yes, and I promised myself half an hour with my feet up to rest these terrible veins.
OK, I'll call back then. Hang about. The name's Grant. Like what you get to do your house up. Or when you go to university. Ha ha. Oh, no, don't worry. It's just that my mind's affected. Don't let it bother you. Ta-ra.
The thing is, with it being white, now it's been cleaned up, it looks quite attractive. Not the eyesore Paul Collins made it out to be.
Hold your collar till you see a dog.
You what?
That's what we used to say when we were children and an ambulance went by.
Well, I wouldn't care to keep seeing one where I live. Too many journeys to and fro with Grace. It's the associations.
Come on, Ralph. Come on. We're going to get a bit of dinner.
I have a suggestion for you both. Something to mull over. Yeah, I've got some brochures here.
They're out.
I know they're out. Well, I wouldn't be doing this, would I? I've got a lot of valuable furniture in there.
Haven't seen any bonfires in the back.
You're being cheeky, young man. Like father, like son. And you can tell your father, if he wants to rent my garage to put his new car in, he can whistle. And you tell him that.
I don't know if your wife explained to you.
Hello, Gordon. Come on, look, do you want to go?
Well, yeah, of course I can write. But I mean, when you say qualifications, well, decorating I want to do, so any CSEs, they're not really that relevant, are they? Yeah, I appreciate that. I've got the address. Thank you. Why don't you send a letter? Most people write. Contact personnel.
Damon, Gordon.
All right, Mother. I might not have any qualifications, but I'm not blind.
I think I'll have my rest upstairs. It might be a bit more restful.
Oh, listen, sorry if I came at a bad time. It's just the photographs Cathy took the other week. Well, these are the contact prints. They only give a rough idea, but I thought you might like to see them. I think you'll agree they don't make Duxie look stupid or anything.
Big deal.
Well, don't you even want to see them?
Why? So I can tell you how good a photographer Cathy is.
Oh, well, it's only a thought. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, well, I'm only ringing around for a job. Not something you'd know about.
Oh, not just yet, but one day, maybe.
No way. Your dad'll fix you up with something, won't he?
Oh, you must be joking. Your dad's far better placed for something like that. I mean, there's far more people these days who'd want to keep in with unions rather than management.
Look, I wouldn't want to get a job that way.
Well, you'd be pretty stupid then.
I can manage on my own. Just got to send off a few letters, that's all.
A few?
100 if I have to.
Well, that's going to set you back a bit in stamps alone. Never mind the time and the effort.
Well, I can put the effort in. And as for the time, I'm quids in there, aren't I? Not like you. I haven't got a girlfriend to distract me.
Well,
Sit.
what do you want to do, then? We might as well do something since we're here. Why don't we go on that, see where it goes?
I think you might find you get yourselves lost. Still, you could always try it, like, if that's the way you want to spend your time.
Looks dead clean, and you?
I'm not sure we wanted one myself. But there you go. It's all the rage these days, tearing the heart out of a fine old city.
I know. It's these huge shopping precincts. One looks just like the other, and you can hardly tell what town you're in sometimes.
Look, if you can drag yourselves away, get yourselves down to Central Station. Walk down Grey Street. Have a look at some of the fine old churches. St. Nick's Cathedral. Stand with her on the Tyne Bridge. Have a look at All Saints. You can see Bessie Surtees' house. She's famous for eloping, you know.
Yeah, well, we haven't got that much time, you see. We're from Liverpool, and we've got to get back tonight.
We could stay over there.
Fine. I'll be your guide. Jackie Armstrong. Ex-shipyard worker, retired, redundant. The wife likes us out from under her feet, so I walk miles with me, man, I hear. Mind, it's not idle wandering. We're out looking for pictures. Anyway.
Tell you what, tell us somewhere we can meet you later. You know, give us a chance to settle what we're doing.
Fine.
I mean, discuss it.
Why? I'll be on the Tyne Bridge about 1:45. Mind if you're not there? Well, it's no bother. I'll see if I see you, like. Safe journey home and so forth, eh? Ta-da.
We're gonna stay over there.
Oh, not again.
But it's different now. We've met him, haven't we?
Go away, he's just a stranger.
Yeah, just like I'd be if you went to university here. Is that why you want to stay over? Preparing for me for what's to come, is it?
I've got to work.
But you knew I banked on staying over, Karen. I even mentioned it to your dad.
You did what?
Well, you know, I thought, you know...
What, you sorted it out with him before you sorted it out with me?
But you know what happened with the lakes? You just started bringing it up, to stop him getting heavy about when we got back. Come on. Remember the lakes? It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Stay over there.
I can't. I've got to work.
Great. I'm all right for transport, aren't I? Transporting you round up and down the country, looking for your future home. But not all right for staying the night with you.
Oh, that's great, that is. You want to hear yourself? You make it seem like paying up, like giving you petrol money, and I hate that.
Well, hate it then. I don't care what you do. I'm going to meet that Armstrong fellow with his dog on the town in an hour's time, and you can do what you like.
Benidorm. Bobby and Sheila went to Benidorm.
It's Mallorca. That's the one I'm having to cancel. There's no point looking at the rest.
You can tell her there's no point, full stop. I can't abnegate my duties as a landlord and just get off on holiday.
Well, we could at least discuss it. Look on it as a convalescence for you.
But I'm not sick, woman.
The thing is, it's one of these special charter trips, you see. You're not supposed to be able to cancel, but because of Grace, they said they'd let me out if I paid 60%. So you only have to fund the other 40%.
Can't you get the 60 back on insurance?
No, because of Grace's condition. She had it before we took out the insurance.
Oh, it's so sad, Ralph.
I know. She was looking forward to it, I know.
Are you sure it'll only cost me 40%?
Oh, yeah, I've checked it out with the travel firm.
Pity about these new tenants. But you can see the predicament I'm in. They've just moved in. I don't know them. They don't know me. And the relationship at the moment was very delicate.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, yeah. Look, I tell you what. I'll shift some gravel for you at the back. You talk it over, eh? I'll leave you to it.
It's a very generous offer.
I at the wrong time. Typical of him. He was never where he should have been when we were on the railway together. I think it was him that got the railways the reputation for never running on time.
We won't get a holiday otherwise.
Oh, aye. Go on holiday. Save a few £100. Come back and we find we've got 2 houses wrecked.
Where are you going?
To see if they come home yet.
You're gone missing, has he?
Yeah. And it's not as if he's left me just round the corner from home either.
You've no idea where he is?
Probably broke down or stuck in a garage somewhere. Still.
Well, I could always lend you the fare. I would see you got home, all right? Good old pet.
Thanks.
Well, what do you think, eh?
Yeah.
Aye, rise in the Chevits. At least the North Tyne does. Northumberland's still got plenty space. Empty and unchanged. Not everybody's cup of tea, but by a lad, it's mine.
I didn't know it was as wide as this.
Oh, aye. I cannot get to my love if I would be. For the waters of Tyne lie between him and me. Hey, Pet, you should see yourself. Your face is in your boots.
Yeah, well, we fell out, you see.
What about?
Well, whether we should stay the night or not.
Well, you're not the first, and I'm sure you won't be the last to fall out over that subject. You see, Pet, she can't laugh.
Is Grace upset missing the holiday?
Well, it's not that she's really poorly. It's just that the doctor advised against it when she went for a checkup last week. I mean, she's realistic, Grace. It wasn't so much the flight, more the danger she might overdo it. At least that's what she said to me. Her sister's round today, which frees me a bit.
I'd love to have travelled. We went to southern Spain once. That was nice. The railways are different there. Different gauge or something.
No, it's narrower. Or is it broader? It's different, anyway.
There are other things I'd like to have seen more, but still.
Ah, never mind. We'll talk him round.
So your son's never worked then?
Well, where's the work to come from, Pet? I'm sure I don't know.
But don't you mind? Aren't you angry?
Gotta remember Cairns, Pet. We've been battered here ever since the 1930s. Playing at politics, why, I don't know where that gets you. Mind, we don't whine about it.
But you don't fight either. Why don't you fight like the Yorkshire miners fight?
You know, Pet, you sound just like the wife. Same tone of voice when she's gone on about the politicians.
Yeah. Should be more women in Parliament.
Oh, why aren't there then? I mean, there's one at the top, so the opportunity must be there.
It isn't though, is it? I mean, it's attitudes. That's what makes it difficult for women.
Aye. Men's attitudes, you mean?
Yeah. So women doing well and having a career. It's like with me and Andrew now. His work's in Liverpool, so it's wrong for me to go away. He thinks I should fit in with him, but why? Why not the other way around?
Well, what does he do then?
He works in a shop in a DIY.
Well, how do you suppose he feels? I mean, what are his prospects compared to yours?
But women are in that position. They are most of the time. It's usually they've got no prospects at all. They don't know.
Seems to me you're moaning no.
No. What I mind about is when a woman's got a job, it must come second to the man's. Like if they move house, that was through his job, not through hers. She's got to change her life to fit in with him.
No, I know who rules the roost in our house. I know who comes first there, all right.
Well, that's just it. So long as it's about the house or the children, well, the man just might give way. But when it comes to the world of work...
Nah, you're talking generalities, Pet.
I'm not. Why do you think Andrew stormed off, then? Because he couldn't stand the thought of changing his life to suit me.
No, that's not the reason you gave before. You said you wouldn't spend the night, and that's why you quarrelled.
Yeah, well, doesn't matter now. Like they say, academic.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Pet. The subject could crop up any minute now. Now, if I was you, I'd go and ask him.
Where's the bike?
Knackered, I left it at the garage. I wasn't sure you'd be here.
Well, what was I supposed to do? I've got to get home, you know.
And what? I don't know how long it's going to be.
Oh, to just them to spin it out so you could pick it up tomorrow?
Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get that heavy. I just sort of found myself doing it.
Yeah, and that's how you would be if I agreed to stop over. You'd lean on me to give it all up, everything I've dreamed and planned.
I don't say that.
I mean it, Andrew. I want to go to university. For me, for me mum, me dad. Why do you think I stayed on?
It's just worrying not knowing how long I'm going to last. With you and me.
It'll last. So long as you and me want it to. And so long as we enjoy what it is now. And not worrying what it's going to be like in, 6, 9, 12 months' time. OK? OK.
It's time. We've got more racing for you. In the meantime, let's bring you up to date on the news that's been coming in. First of all...
Concentrate.
It helps me concentrate.
Music might. Team news, no.
Look, I've done all them.
Love, if I'm buying the stamps and investing my money in this, I want them doing properly. Fancy an indigestion tablet?
No thanks, might get hooked.
Fair enough.
Well?
Except...
Oh, yeah.
This bit here about where you worked in London. Proximity to the Arsenal football ground. It's not strictly relevant, love. It's not a burning issue.
Oh, right.
I'm trying a new kind. They grow on you. It's like eating flavoured chalk.
Do you like being pregnant, Mum?
Do you know, Damon, when you go to the clinic, they ask you how you are. Morning, Mrs. Grant, and how are we feeling today? Well, that means I get asked once a month. Soon to be once a fortnight, once a week in the finish. Now, when I'm no longer pregnant, when I'm an unpregnant housewife, I'm very lucky if I get asked once a year, if that.
We asked you all the time before you went away on holiday.
Because I was peculiar. Don't get asked in the normal run.
Sounds to me as though you only like the fuss.
I do. I do. It's more than that, though. Makes you feel more important for a while. And you are. You carry a new life. You're very important.
But what about actually having it? I mean, labour pains and that.
Well, you do get a bit of help from the baby, love. If you've got one that cooperates, turns itself round at the right time, knows when to get started. Once it decides to go for home, there's not a lot you can do about it. Do you know, our Karen was nearly born in a lift.
She wasn't.
It's true. We're on our way up to the delivery unit. Get in the lift and it starts going down when it should have been going up. There's panic stations. Oh, she really went. Apart from that, it is hard work.
But then there's, is it all right or not?
Hey, don't you worry about that. I'll worry enough for all of us. You just get your own life sorted out.
Yeah, certainly needs it.
Do you know, love, the trouble with this baby at the moment is there's only me who knows what an amazing thing it is. But when it's born, it starts doing things for the very first time. You'll feel different about it. And I do mean you, big brother. You'll get a real kick out of it.
Does it hurt you when it kicks?
Sometimes. Do you know, Maureen Lomax had one of her ribs broken by one of her babies.
Go away.
She did. But it's just something you sort of accept. At least if it's moving, you know all's well.
It's funny, innit? The more you tell me, the more ignorant I feel.
Well, it's perhaps as well, love. It'll be a few years yet before you need to know about babies.
What, you mean the birds and the bees?
Oh, no. I know you know what causes them. You've no idea what they cause.
What?
Exactly. Hey, you know when I was writing these numbers down, I nearly wrote another number down.
Mum, if you mean Linda's, you can forget it.
Love, if it's only pride that's
It's
stopping
not.
you. OK. I'll let you get on.
Thanks for talking to me, Mum.
It's all right. Anything you want to know, I don't want anybody to feel left out, especially you.
Anything like?
Except for the birds and the bees.
Ah, I don't feel so much out of touch now.
I'm glad. That's what we like to hear. Now go and make your pregnant mother a nice cup of tea.
Oh.
Are you ready then?
Yes.
You know what to say?
Yes.
Right. Hey, up, here he comes.
Hey, listen to this. Compensation payments do not apply to changes caused by reason of war or threat of war. Riots, civil strife, terrorist activity, industrial disputes, natural disasters, fire, technical problems to transport, closure of airports or ports, and similar events beyond our control. Now, I'm just quoting that as an example of what could happen.
Can you argue sensibly, or is this a silly season?
Is it the cost that bothers you?
No, it isn't the cost. I just don't fancy the thought of it somehow.
Well, then, I'll go on my own.
Edna, there's thieves and vagabonds in all these foreign parts, and they'd snatch your woman's handbag as soon as look at her. That is if she was on her own, if she didn't have a man to protect her.
I've got a man, but he's not interested.
Well, if you're not interested, Harry, then I am. I'll take her.
Ralph.
You're having us on. What about Grace?
Oh, her sister Anne can cope. I'll make arrangements.
What, take my wife to Majorca? It's my place to do that, not yours.
For God's sake, man, do it. Do it, don't be so daft. Where are you going, Harry?
I'm going in to look at the brochure, to remind me of the bloomin' cost.
Do you think it's working?
Yeah. Just a case of knowing how to play the stubborn old beggar. Although I wish I was going with you, but I can't leave Grace. She's holding something back from me. I think she's been more poorly than she's let on.
She's like that, isn't she?
Aye. I'll think of you, though. You'll be made up there. You'll be like a young girl again. Like when I first met you.
You doggy.
Oh, all fixed then?
Yep.
Good.
Stop on.
Well, drive carefully, mate. Shut up. Hui.
Well,
I will stay if you want me to.
you might not be on your work.
It's just that the school's got to send a report to all the places we apply. It's a difficult time, that's all.
There'll be other weekends, won't there?
Out?
I'll take you home then. Fiasco, really.
No,
I think so.
I don't. I know a lot more about you now, don't I?
Yeah, but no more about me won't stop you screwing me up, though, will it, Ray?
I won't screw you up. I promise.
And that'll absorb the salt, will it?
Excuse.
Works every time. Damon, you know they won't go till Monday now, don't you?
No, but I feel better if they're posted. It's finished then. See ya.
See ya.
Lipton here.
Oh, do you think so?
I'm off to warm my clams myself. I'm going on a package holiday to Majorca.
Really?
That sounds nice.
And I've got this problem, you know, with being a landlord. Just watch. You could look into my place, collect the mail. You'd be the key holder.
Oh, dear. Look, let's put it this way. I'd hate you to feel you couldn't go on your holidays because nobody around here would look after your house, as long as that's all it is.
I'll think about it. And what occurs to me, I'll write down. I'll be round with it later.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry, I'll help you out as much as I can. I must get off and try and rescue that soup before the guests have
Oh,
to
hey,
eat
let
it.
me know how you get on.
Damon's bucked up. What did the trick with him?
I don't know, get a rop off his backside, I suppose. And harbouring false hopes, I'm afraid. He's written a stack of letters. I think he thinks they're going to bring him pure gold.
You think differently?
Oh, Heather, you know what it's like. I'll keep my fingers crossed for him, but I'd be a fool to be optimistic.
I'll see you.
Have a nice time. Haven't had reply to all your applications yet, love. Something might still turn up. We did warn you, you know, it wouldn't be easy getting a job.
Wonder what the odds are.
Oh, 50 to 1.
Well, that means if I write 50 letters, I should at least get one interview.
That's the way, love. Keep at it.
Must be great to have loads of money.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, not just to spend it, but to find out what you do best. Who knows? I could be the country's best skier, best racing driver, best clay pigeon shooter, or even best lacrosse player.
Lacrosse? I bet you don't even know what it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I'll probably never get a chance to find out. You see, but if you've got loads of money, you can keep trying things, and eventually you find out what you're best at. Like Martha Thatcher or Prince Charles.
Wouldn't it be even more depressing, though, to have had all the opportunities and find out you're not good at any of them?
Well, then I'd be a business consultant.
Well, like Martha Thatcher. At least I know there's no chance of you getting lost in the desert.
No, I'm just lost in the unemployment statistics.
Here you are. Open this. That might cheer you up.
Stressed me, Dad?
Well, he won't mind. Probably a load of rubbish.
Our computer has selected you, Robert Grant of Brookside Close, for a unique opportunity to enter our grand prize draw. In the near future, you, Robert Grant, could be driving a new Rover 3.5 saloon down Brookside Close on your way to a holiday in the Caribbean. What do you think, Mum?
I don't know, love. I'll think it over while I make the chips.
You, Robert Grant, could be the envy of all your friends.
What's tickled you, Mr. Collins?
I, Paul Collins, could be driving down Brookside Close in a new Rover to a holiday in the Caribbean in the very near future.
Sounds smashing. What do you have to do?
Oh, join a book club and win the draw. Apparently, I'm now a member of an elite group selected by a computer.
I'm very pleased for you. Finish your tea before you go, won't you? It's probably too warm this time of year anyway.
I'd settle for a quiet weekend with my feet up.
Yeah, me too.
Collins? P1046. OK, Martin, I'll get in touch with maintenance. Bye. Blasted pump coupling's gone again.
There always seems to be something last thing on a Friday.
Hardly last thing, Lisa. There's nearly an hour and a half to go yet. Hello? Collins here. Chemical supplies.
Don't see why I have to get dressed up.
You're not getting dressed up, just smartened up, that's all.
He's my solicitor, not a fashion expert.
Oh, stop moaning and get it on. He's going to be here in a minute. Have you thought of any questions you need to ask him?
Can't think of anything.
Well, there's the cost. Not that we can do anything about that. I just want to make sure we've got enough put by. When they find you not guilty, we'll be awarded costs.
Wish I was as confident as you about being found not guilty.
Now, stop talking like that. They are going to find you not guilty. They're bound to.
Yeah, but suppose they don't. This time next week, I could be in prison.
Don't say that.
We've got to face up to it, love. It is possible.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I never would have thought this could have happened to me, but it has. So what's to stop them sending me down? That remand centre was bad enough.
I know, love. But this time next week, it'll all be over. You'll walk out of that court on top of the world, and we'll have the biggest celebration we've ever had.
I just want things to be back to normal.
Won't be long, love. It'll soon just seem like a bad dream. Hey, where are we going to go for this celebration, then, eh?
Dunno.
What was that place we went to for our 10th wedding anniversary?
Can't remember.
You know the one I mean, though, don't you? In Wiston. Something to do with church. And we are going to get a taxi. I'm not having you breathalyzed.
Oh, yeah, that would be all.
Just you and me, eh?
Right.
And how about a little holiday before you go back to work?
This time of year?
Well, the crosses are away.
That's an old age pensioner's special.
They don't order special weather just 'cause they're pensioners. We could go to Mallorca. It's cheap enough.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll just nip up to the bathroom.
Well, don't be long. I won't know what to say to him if I'm on my own.
Hi there. What are you doing? Fixing that or destroying it?
Need you ask?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you haven't got a clue how it works. You can't be fixing it, can you?
Ah, come on, Cags, don't be too hard on him. He is having a go.
It's mine anyway.
It was mine, and it did work when I gave it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome home.
How have you been today?
Not so bad, under the circumstances. You're early.
Yeah, I've had a nice quiet day, actually. Won't be long now, eh?
I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about running 3 houses.
You've bust the
3
speaker now.
houses?
It'll
Yes,
never work.
this one and Harry Cross's
It's the
pair.
speaker that's bust, Divvy.
Well,
I'm replacing it.
Delegate the
Don't
responsibility
you
of
call
any
me a divvy.
process.
No wonder Linda finished with you.
She never. I finished with her.
It's not what she's saying.
Have you been talking to her?
Why do you want me to?
Nah, shouldn't talk to divvies anyway.
Well, she talked to you.
Aye, you two. I thought we were getting a baby for all that kid stuff. I thought you two were supposed to be grown up. Anyway, Damon, go and check on Harry Cross's bungalow, will you?
Why me?
Why? Because I've just told you to, that's why.
Karen, you can do this.
Come on, Mark.
I'll fix it, you'll see.
Do you want me to fix it between you and Linda?
I don't want no favours off you.
He's got a right narc on, hasn't he?
He's had answers to his letters. All rejections.
Not even an interview.
Not even a hint of one.
Well, I told him it was going to be tough.
It's not helping him now, is it? Couldn't you get him fixed up?
Well, don't you think I would if I could?
Well, there must be one employer who wants to get in with his union.
Aye, Shane. That's corruption, that.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. But there must be somebody out there with a job waiting.
I'll see what I can do.
I thought you'd be lucky to get somebody so late on a Friday.
It wasn't late when I first asked them. Anyway, what's a Friday got to do with it?
It's just traditional, I suppose.
No wonder the country's in a state.
Oh, hello, Lisa.
Hello, Mike.
How's your love life, then?
Oh, it's a bit quiet at the moment.
Oh, wish I were 20 years younger.
20 years? You'd still be old enough to be my dad.
Oh, thank you very much. You don't know what you're missing. I've had enough girlfriends to build a handrail around the Isle of Man.
I bet you can't remember that far back.
Excuse me interrupting this little discussion. Would you happen to be the fitter I sent for over half an hour ago?
Mike Dickinson at your service. Well, as soon as you've signed this.
This is time from when I first asked for you.
Well, I've been getting my tools together, haven't I?
P1046 sulfuric acid pump. The coupling's gone.
You've had the guard off and checked that, have you?
No, Martin, the foreman, told me.
Oh, he's been doing the spanners, has he?
Nobody's touched the pump.
So how do you know it's the coupling?
Well, the motor's turning, but the drive to the pump shaft isn't.
So it could be a broken shaft?
Well, I would have thought that was hardly likely.
You've had a lot of experience of this type of pump, have you?
No, not a lot.
Do you know how long I've been in this job?
No.
38 years. Long enough to always expect the unexpected.
Well, I wonder if you'd mind continuing your career long enough to mend this pump. We've an important consignment we've got to get out by lunchtime tomorrow.
I'll be delighted.
Good.
As long as you've had it electrically isolated.
If you see Martin, the foreman, before you start, he'll give you a permit to work certificate.
Which requires an electrician's certificate to prove that it has been isolated.
That means bringing somebody else across from the main factory.
Unless you've got a qualified electrician on site.
I haven't.
Well, then.
Look even better in the light.
Thank you. What a smoothie. Now, can we get on with the business?
As long as you don't think that was all the pleasure.
I hope not. Let's see what develops.
When are you going to hear from the magazine about the others?
Oh, I think I'd have heard from them by now if they were going to publish them.
No, they'll publish them. They were good.
Well, anyone can take good pictures. To get them published, they have to be very, very good.
And how much payment will you get?
Oh, you don't get paid. It's the prestige of having them exposed to the world. Well, Liverpool.
Well, Prestige doesn't buy film and equipment, does it?
That's very businesslike of you.
Well, there's a time for business and a time for pleasure, my girl.
I remember that, but at the moment, can we concentrate on building up my portfolio?
Hello, Mr. O'Connor. Come in.
Hope I'm not later than expected. We ended up going to sudden death. Golf. I was beaten.
Sit down, Mr. O'Connor.
Thank you. I got one of these this morning.
Do you like a cup of tea, Mr. O'Connor, before we start?
Yes, fine, thanks. Don't worry, Mr. Jackson. Everything's going to be fine.
Cheer up. It'll be all right in the end.
Yeah, talk's cheap. Just wait till you're in this situation.
I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna go to university, remember? What are you talking about unemployment?
You going to that one you looked at last week?
I might do. I like Newcastle. They seem nice, friendly people.
At least somebody's happy.
You're doing no good moping about.
What else can I do? I mean, I've written to firms for interviews.
But why are you hanging round the house?
Because there's nowhere else to go.
But you always found somewhere to go when you were bunking off school.
Yeah, kid stuff.
Only trying to be helpful.
Find us a job then. Look, it's 19% youth unemployment on Merseyside. I could be the world's best paper hanger and decorator, but no one will ever know it.
Ring her up, Damon.
Who?
Linda, I know you. This is really the cause of all this.
No, it's not. I'm not bothered about her.
Oh, not much. Look, at least it's something you don't have to rely on anyone else for. All you have to do is ring her.
She might not want to speak. No.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
But why, if you still want to see her?
Because.
Because what?
Because she might knock me back again. That's why.
Aye, you were right.
The coupling?
Yeah.
So, it shouldn't take long then?
Oh, about 10 minutes, all being well.
Excellent, Mike.
If I have one with me.
What? You mean you haven't brought one across?
That's right.
I told you it was the coupling.
Yeah, and a very good guess as it turned out. But only a guess.
Why didn't you bring a spare?
Because I've had a lot of experience. If I'd listened to all the non-engineers who've diagnosed problems for me, I'd be running around with a mule train full of equipment.
But it was obviously the coupling.
No. Obvious to someone whose knowledge was limited to only knowing about a coupling. It could have been the key on the engine shaft that had slipped out, or the key pump side, or either of the metal coupling sheet, or even a broken pump shaft. Now, I can't be carrying all that stuff around with me. Besides, I should have a mate. But I've bent the rules on that one, as this is an emergency.
So, it means you've got to trail all the way back to your stores to fetch a new one?
No. I'll get one of the lads to bring one over. In the meantime, I'll be stripping this down. Yeah, can I use your phone?
Yes, come on.
Right.
Now, about the security man.
You mean the one who thought the goods was more important than our lives?
That one. Let's just go over your conversations with him again.
Why?
Because he's been called as a witness for the prosecution.
That's ridiculous.
Well, nevertheless, what did you talk to him about?
I was very angry with him over his attitude. Like I say, he was more interested in saving the goods than us working safe.
You had an angry exchange?
Not as angry as when he insisted on searching us after we'd saved his precious goods.
Try and remember exactly what you said to him.
Well, the gist of it was that he deserved to have the lock pinched and we wouldn't have to risk our lives again.
Oh, George.
Well, it was in the heat of the moment, love, literally. I was very angry with him over his attitude.
Yes. During the fire, did you have any particular access to rooms containing plans, alarm systems, that sort of thing?
No.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
It helps.
Well, it may not.
Why's that?
I'm very familiar with the layout of the place. We'd been there a few weeks previous with an appliance. You see, it's standard practice to check out potential hazards, and if you are called out to an emergency, you know the best places to park and the most vulnerable parts of the building. We do it all the time.
I see.
We don't just slide down poles and play snooker, you know.
I'm sure Mr. O'Connor knows that, George.
Quite. So, you were well acquainted with the interior of the warehouse?
Yeah, but I'm well acquainted with a lot of other places that are far more valuable goods. For instance, there's a jeweller's in Kensington. You wouldn't believe how easy it'd be. I've never told anybody, though.
Doesn't that go in his favour? The fact that he knows of other places that'd be better to rob and he said nothing?
I don't think so. Oh, I understand you, Mrs. Jackson. But the prosecution would probably say, should a man go free of murder because he hadn't murdered more deserving cases?
Well, it's not the same.
Mr. O'Connor knows what he means.
Let's just go through your conversations with him again.
Again?
Well, you're in court next week. We want to try and anticipate every question.
I don't think they look any better in the daylight.
I think they're terrific. So are you.
Just keep your feet on the ground and come tell me honestly what you think of these.
Well, look, if the magazine doesn't pay you for these, why not sell them? Or at least some of them.
Well, it isn't that simple. I mean, who'd buy them? Damon and Duxie?
Oh, I'm sure somebody somewhere would. I mean, all we need's the right shop.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yeah, look, I've seen loads of people buying pictures outside the Blue Coat Chambers in town. There's loads of people selling there on Saturday morning. Why don't we try there?
Do you know, Harry Cross could see me driving down the close in a brand new Rover.
Oh, for a holiday in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
You didn't open it, did you?
Didn't have to, same as one we got.
Well, apart from the post, son, what else did he want sorting out?
He hasn't half got a cheek. He's expecting us to spy on his lodgers.
Not spy, just take an interest. And it's not the post, it's them free papers that get left in the letterboxes. That's what's worrying him.
Anyway, what have you like, them nurses?
They seem all right. He's a bit of a potato spiv, though.
Probably trying to make a few extra bob to supplement his wages.
Wonder if he wants any help. Wouldn't mind doing that, selling spuds door to door.
It's hardly a career.
It's better than the one I've got.
You could make a career of getting under back.
Oh, is there a chance it might be back on again?
You've got a mouth like a JCB bucket, you, Karen.
Do you mind? We're eating.
Charming. I got them back together and that's all the thanks I get.
When are you seeing her then?
Tomorrow.
Oh, that'll cheer you up. She's a nice girl.
I should do something like those competition letters.
What, win Damon Grant for a day? Can't see it taking over the pools.
No, flood the market, I mean. Those people must know what they're doing. Sending out millions of letters to you, saying how privileged you are to be able to join a select group.
You're right, love. I mean, them firms aren't going to do it for the fun of it, are they? Bet thousands of people join the book club for that reason.
What are you getting at?
Look, I wrote off hundreds of individual letters to companies asking for a job. It took me ages. What I need is one to just send away and fill in where I'm sending it to.
It's got to be handwritten. Companies insist on it.
Why?
Well, to prove you can write, you could have got somebody to do it for you.
How do you know, anyway?
Because they told us in school. They might have told you if you'd ever bothered going.
All right. Do you think you could run him some copies off, love?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I can get them done in Blu-ray, then people will think it's Bido. The wonders of technology. Now, listen, no technologies cost a lot of people their jobs, but this way it'll help you to find one.
That's what I'll do, then. Flood the market.
Worth a try, love.
As far as I know, he's just a barman.
There has to be a good reason for the prosecution to call him as a witness.
He's going to say he saw George taking money off Tommy McCardle.
I've never denied that.
He's going to say that he saw Mr. Jackson receive money from a man in the Swan public house, not necessarily Tommy McCardle.
I've never denied that.
Well, not according to his statement.
But he knows it was him.
Not according to his statement.
But he knows him well. He was there that night I tried to get McCardle to speak up.
Have you been in touch with McCardle again since I advised you against it?
There was nothing else I could do.
What difference does it make if the police can't put anything on McCardle?
When did this meeting take place?
About 6 weeks ago. It was hardly a meeting.
More like a beating.
You were physically assaulted?
Yes.
By whom?
Tommy McCardle.
Did you report this to the police?
No.
Were there any witnesses to the assault?
Yeah, the barman.
Only the barman?
Yeah, it was in the gents' toilets.
Is there anything else you haven't told me, Mr. Jackson?
No.
What about the day after he beat you up?
McCardle said if I kept my mouth shut and didn't cause him any problems, it'd see me all right if I got sent down. Not that I would take anything.
And I don't suppose there were any witnesses?
No, only the barman the day before.
That's why he's a very important witness. Think now, is there anything else?
I don't know him.
Well, is there any way that we can establish that he isn't telling the whole story about the money you received in the Swan that day?
All he's got to say is he saw me accept a bundle of notes from some bloke sitting at the same table as me. If he doesn't say it was Tommy McCardle, what can we do?
I don't know. But I must say it doesn't help your case.
Well, Mike, how's it going?
Well, the pump's stripped down, but I'm still waiting for the coupling.
But you asked for it 25 minutes ago.
Well, he's probably still trying to find the foreman to get his card signed.
Which card?
His clock card. You can't expect a bloke to come over here at this time of day and then dash back there to clock off. So he gets the foreman to sign his card, then he can leave for home from here.
It all wastes so much time.
It's the rules.
And I'm going to have to do something to amend the rules.
That's up to you. I'll find out what's keeping him. Can I use your phone?
Yes, yes, go ahead. Lisa, phone Safian Chemicals. Tell them there might be a slight delay in their delivery tomorrow.
Right, Mr. Collins.
Is that it, then?
More or less. It's just a question of deciding which barrister you want to fight the case.
We want the best. What's wrong?
Oh, I wish I could guarantee you the best, Mrs. Jackson. But he's probably an ex-attorney general who could command something like 20,000 a day. Now, out of that, he'd have his assistants and a team of solicitors to pay, of course.
Oh, I feel sorry for him.
Well, who am I going to get, then?
I've drawn up a short list of who I think would be prepared to take you on.
Are they all good ones?
They're all qualified, Mrs. Jackson, which means they've all reached a certain standing within their profession. Now, as they are all human, they'll have each had differing experiences and vary accordingly.
You pick one for us.
I'm afraid the fee must have a bearing on choice.
Well, we've a bit put by, and obviously we're prepared to spend it all.
Can I ask how much you have put by for the case?
We will get costs, won't we?
When they find George not guilty?
We will certainly press for costs, but it isn't automatic.
But if he's not guilty, why should we be out of pocket?
It's not as simple as that. The law is administered by people who assess all the points before them. Now, they are largely just and capable people, but they are people. Now, it may happen that the judge considers Mr. Jackson innocent of the crime conspiracy, but culpable of bringing a lot of the case against him by his own foolish actions. You may walk away from the court an innocent man, but have to bear your own costs for the case.
That's not fair.
Well, fairness is judged by what the judge in question says is fair. The law isn't a process of black and white decision-making. Though obviously precedents are set and adhered to, but our judicial system depends on flexibility of thought. We are all on the same side, Mrs. Jackson.
Well, if it costs us a few £100, well, it's not right, but has to be done.
I'm afraid I must warn you to pay a lot more than that.
We're not going for the ex-attorney general.
The fee for the most inexperienced man on my list is likely to run into a couple of £1,000s. And while the thought of not being granted costs is an unpleasant one, you must bear it in mind. It could cost you a lot of money.